Genesis 31. Jacob heard the complaints of Laban's sons. They said that Jacob had taken away their father's wealth. Jacob also noticed that Laban's attitude toward him had changed. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Return to the land of your fathers and your relatives, and I will be with you." Jacob called Rachel and Leah out to the field where his flocks were. He told them, "I can see that your father's attitude toward me is not what it was before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, yet your father deceived me and changed my wages many times. But God did not allow him to harm me. Whenever he said the speckled animals would be my wages, the flocks produced speckled offspring. When he said the ring-straked animals would be my wages, the flocks produced ring-straked offspring. In this way, God has taken your father's livestock and given them to me." Jacob then described a dream he had received from God. The angel of God called to him and said, "I have seen everything Laban has done to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now leave this land and return to your homeland." Rachel and Leah answered him, "We no longer have any inheritance in our father's house. He has treated us like strangers. Everything God has taken from our father belongs to us and our children. Do whatever God has told you to do." Jacob gathered his wives, children, and possessions. He set his family upon camels and prepared to return to Canaan. While Laban was away shearing his sheep, Rachel secretly stole her father's household idols. Jacob left without telling Laban. He crossed the river and headed toward the mountains of Gilead. 3 days later, Laban learned that Jacob had fled. He gathered his relatives and pursued Jacob for 7 days. But God appeared to Laban in a dream and warned him, "Be careful not to speak to Jacob, either good or bad." Laban finally caught up with Jacob in the mountains of Gilead. He asked, "Why did you leave secretly and carry away my daughters? Why did you not allow me to send you away with celebration? And why have you stolen my gods?" Jacob answered, "I was afraid that you might take your daughters away by force. As for your gods, whoever has them shall not live." Jacob did not know that Rachel had taken them. Laban searched all the tents. He searched Jacob's tent, Leah's tent, and the tents of the maidservants. Finally, he entered Rachel's tent. Rachel had hidden the idols in the camel's saddle and was sitting on them. She told her father that she could not rise because of the custom of women. Laban searched carefully, but could not find the idols. Jacob then became angry. He challenged Laban, "What wrong have I done? What sin have I committed, that you pursue me like this? You have searched all my possessions. What have you found? Place it before our relatives, and let them judge between us. For 20 years I have served you faithfully. I endured heat by day and cold by night. Sleep departed from my eyes, and I worked 14 years for your daughters and 6 years for your flocks. Yet you changed my wages many times. If the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac had not been with me, you would have sent me away empty. But God saw my affliction and rebuked you last night." Laban replied, "These daughters are my daughters, these children are my children, and these flocks are my flocks. But what can I do now? Come, let us make a covenant together." Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. His relatives gathered stones and made a heap. They shared a meal there. Laban called the place Jegar Sahadutha, and Jacob called it Gilead. The heap became a witness between them. Laban said, "May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent from one another. God is witness between us. They agreed not to cross the boundary to harm one another. Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and invited his relatives to eat. They spent the night there. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his children and grandchildren, blessed them, and returned home. Genesis 32. Jacob continued on his journey. The angels of God met him along the way. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's host." And he called the place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers ahead to his brother Esau. He instructed them to say, "Your servant Jacob has lived with Laban until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, men servants, and women servants. I send this message that I may find favor in your sight." The messengers returned and said, "Esau is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Jacob became greatly afraid. He divided his people, flocks, herds, and camels into two groups. He thought, if Esau attacks one company, the other may escape. Then Jacob prayed, "O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, you told me to return to my country, and you promised to deal well with me. I am not worthy of all the mercies and truth you have shown me. With only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two companies. Deliver me from Esau, for I fear him. But you promised to do me good and multiply my descendants." That night, Jacob prepared a gift for Esau. He selected goats, sheep, camels, cattle, and donkeys. He placed each herd under the care of servants. He instructed them to pass ahead one group at a time. When Esau asked about the animals, they were to say, "They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift for my lord Esau, and Jacob is coming behind us." Jacob hoped the gifts would soften Esau's heart. That night he took his wives, servants, and 11 sons across the ford of Jabbok. After sending everyone ahead, Jacob remained alone. A man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw he could not overpower Jacob, he touched Jacob's hip. Jacob's hip was put out of joint. Still, Jacob refused to let go. The man said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked, "What is your name?" He answered, "Jacob." The man said, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed." Jacob asked for the man's name, but the man only blessed him there. Jacob called the place Peniel, for he said, "I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." As the sun rose, Jacob limped because of his injured hip. Because of this event, the children of Israel did not eat the sinew of the thigh. Genesis 33. Jacob looked up and saw Esau approaching. With 400 men, he arranged his family in groups. The maidservants and their children went first. Leah and her children followed. Rachel and Joseph came last. Jacob went ahead of them all. He bowed to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. But Esau ran to meet him. He embraced him, fell on his neck, and kissed him. And they wept together. Esau looked at the women and children and asked who they were. Jacob replied, "They are the children God has graciously given me." Each group came forward and bowed before Esau. Esau asked about the droves of animals he had encountered. Jacob answered, "They are sent to find favor in your sight." Esau said, "Well, I have enough, my brother. Keep what belongs to you." But Jacob urged him, "Please accept my gift. Seeing your face is like seeing the face of God, because you have received me favorably." At last, Esau accepted the gift. Esau invited Jacob to travel with him. Jacob explained that the children were young and the flocks needed gentle care. So Esau returned to Seir. Jacob journeyed to Succoth. There he built a house and shelters for his livestock. Later, Jacob arrived safely near Shechem in the land of Canaan. He purchased a piece of land where he pitched his tent. There he built an altar and called it El Elohe Israel. Genesis 34. Dinah, the daughter of Leah and Jacob, went out to visit the women of the land. Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, saw her. He took her and defiled her. Afterward, his heart was drawn to Dinah. He loved her and spoke kindly to her. Shechem told his father, "Get this young woman for me as a wife." Jacob learned what had happened, but he waited until his sons returned from the fields. Hamor came to speak with Jacob. When Jacob's sons heard the news, they were deeply grieved and very angry. Hamor proposed marriage between the families. He encouraged them to dwell together, trade in the land, and become one people. Shechem offered any dowry they requested if they would give Dinah to him as a wife. Jacob's sons answered deceitfully. They said, "We cannot give our sister to an uncircumcised man. If every male among you is circumcised, then we will agree." Their proposal pleased Hamor and Shechem. The men of the city accepted the condition. Every male was circumcised. On the third day, while the men were in pain, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, entered the city with swords. They killed all the males. They killed Hamor and Shechem. Then they rescued Dinah and brought her out. The other sons of Jacob entered the city. They took the livestock, wealth, and possessions. They carried away the women and children and plundered everything. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble upon me. The people of the land may gather against us and destroy us." But they answered, "Should he have treated our sister like a harlot?" Genesis 35. God said to Jacob, "Arise and go to Bethel, dwell there, and build an altar to God who appeared to you when you fled from Esau." Jacob told his household, "Put away the foreign gods among you. Purify yourselves and change your garments. We are going to Bethel to worship the God who answered me in my distress." The people gave Jacob their idols and earrings. Jacob buried them beneath the oak near Shechem. As they traveled, the terror of God fell upon the surrounding cities. No one pursued them. Jacob arrived at Bethel and built an altar there. He called the place El Bethel because God had appeared to him there. Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried beneath an oak. God appeared to Jacob again and blessed him. He said, "Your name is Jacob, but you shall no longer be called Jacob. Your name shall be Israel." God continued, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you. Kings shall come from your descendants. The land I gave Abraham and Isaac, I give to you and to your offspring after you." Jacob set up a pillar of stone. He poured a drink offering upon it and anointed it with oil. Then he called the place Bethel. As they traveled from Bethel, Rachel went into labor. Her delivery was difficult. As she was dying, she named her son Ben-Oni, meaning son of my sorrow. But Jacob called him Benjamin. Rachel died and was buried on the way to Bethlehem. Jacob set up a pillar over her grave. Israel journeyed onward and pitched his tent beyond the Tower of Edar. While living there, Reuben lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. The sons of Jacob were 12, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Dan, and Naphtali, the sons of Zilpah, Gad, and Asher. These were the sons born to Jacob in Padan Aram. Jacob came to his father Isaac at Hebron. Isaac lived 180 years. Then Isaac died, old and full of days. And his sons, Esau and Jacob, buried him. Esau, who is Edom. Esau took wives from the daughters of Canaan. His wives bore him sons in the land of Canaan. Because the possessions of Esau and Jacob became very great, the land could no longer support them together. So Esau moved away from his brother Jacob. He settled in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. The descendants of Esau became the nation of Edom. His sons, grandsons, chiefs, and leaders multiplied throughout the land. The Horites also lived in the land of Seir. Their families and chiefs are recorded. Before Israel ever had a king, kings already ruled in Edom. Many rulers reigned one after another throughout the land. The chiefs of Edom were established according to their families, their territories, and their settlements. Esau became the father of the Edomites. Genesis 37. Jacob dwelt in the land of Canaan, where his father had lived as a stranger. Joseph was 17 years old. He tended the flocks with his brothers. Joseph brought an unfavorable report about them to his father. Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age. He made Joseph a coat of many colors. When Joseph's brothers saw this, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Joseph dreamed a dream and told it to his brothers. In the dream, their sheaves bowed down to his sheaf. His brothers said, "Will you really reign over us?" And they hated him even more. Joseph dreamed another dream. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down before him. When he told the dream, his father rebuked him. But Jacob kept the matter in mind. Joseph's brothers went to Shechem to feed their father's flocks. Jacob sent Joseph to check on them. Joseph searched for his brothers and eventually found them in Dothan. When they saw him approaching from a distance, they plotted to kill him. They said, "Here comes the dreamer. Let us kill him and see what becomes of his dreams." Reuben heard their plan and sought to rescue Joseph. He persuaded them not to shed blood. Instead, they threw Joseph into an empty pit. Afterward, they sat down to eat. A caravan of Ishmaelites passed by on the way to Egypt. Judah said, "What profit is there if we kill our brother? Let us sell him instead." His brothers agreed. They pulled Joseph from the pit and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. The traders carried Joseph to Egypt. When Reuben returned, Joseph was gone. He was greatly distressed. The brothers took Joseph's coat, dipped it in goat's blood, and brought it to their father. Jacob recognized the coat. He believed Joseph had been killed by a wild beast. Jacob mourned deeply and refused to be comforted. Meanwhile, Joseph was sold in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, and captain of the guard. Genesis 38. At that time, Judah left his brothers and settled near an Adullamite named Hirah. Judah married a Canaanite woman. She bore him 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. Judah found a wife for Her name was Tamar. Was wicked before the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. Judah instructed Onan to fulfill his duty toward Tamar and raise offspring for his brother. But Onan refused to do so faithfully. What he did displeased the Lord, and he also died. Judah then told Tamar to remain a widow until Shelah became old enough. But Judah did not give Shelah to her. After many days, Judah's wife died. Later, Judah traveled to Timnath. During sheep shearing season, Tamar learned of his journey. She removed her widow's garments and disguised herself with a veil. Judah saw her and thought she was a harlot. He asked to be with her. As a pledge, he gave her his signet, bracelets, and staff. Tamar conceived by Judah. Later, Judah sent payment and attempted to recover his pledge, but the woman could not be found. About 3 months later, Judah heard that Tamar was pregnant. He ordered that she be brought out. As she was brought forward, she sent Judah his own signet, bracelets, and staff. She said, "By the man to whom these belong, I am with child." Judah recognized them, and he said, "She has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to my son Shelah." Tamar later gave birth to twins. One child stretched out his hand first, but then drew it back. His brother emerged first and was named Pharez. Afterward, his brother Zerah was born. Genesis 39. Joseph was brought down into Egypt. Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, purchased him from the Ishmaelites. The Lord was with Joseph. Everything he did prospered. Potiphar noticed that the Lord blessed Joseph's work. Joseph found favor in his master's sight. He was placed in charge of the entire household. The Lord blessed Potiphar's house. For Joseph's sake, Joseph was handsome and well-favored. After some time, Potiphar's wife desired Joseph. She repeatedly urged him to lie with her. But Joseph refused. He said, "How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Day after day, she pressured him, yet Joseph would not listen. One day, when no one else was in the house, she grabbed his garment. Joseph fled, leaving the garment behind. Potiphar's wife used the garment to accuse Joseph falsely. She claimed that Joseph had tried to force himself upon her. When Potiphar heard her accusation, he became angry. Joseph was thrown into prison, where the king's prisoners were confined. But the Lord was with Joseph. He showed him mercy and gave him favor with the prison keeper. The keeper entrusted all the prisoners to Joseph. Everything placed under Joseph's care prospered, because the Lord was with him. Genesis 40. Sometime later, Pharaoh's chief butler and chief baker offended their master. Pharaoh became angry and placed them in prison. They were assigned to Joseph's care. One night, both men had dreams. Each dream carried its own meaning. The next morning, Joseph noticed they were troubled. They said, "We have dreamed dreams, but there is no interpreter." Joseph replied, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams." The chief butler described a vine with 3 branches. The branches budded, blossomed, and produced grapes. He pressed the grapes into Pharaoh's cup and placed it into Pharaoh's hand. Joseph interpreted the dream. The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will restore you to your position. Joseph asked the butler to remember him and speak on his behalf before Pharaoh. Then the chief baker shared his dream. He carried 3 baskets on his head. Birds ate food from the upper basket. Joseph interpreted the dream. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will execute you, and the birds will eat your flesh. On Pharaoh's birthday, everything happened exactly as Joseph had said. The chief butler was restored. The chief baker was executed. Yet the chief butler forgot Joseph and did not remember him.